Welcome, Michelle, to your Deluxe Astrological Natal Chart Report. How to get the pig. This is the Peace Dealer. Thank you so very much for your patience. And let's get this show on the road. Okay, as you can see, um, we see you are rising in Sagittarius. You got the 0 degree Leo sun, and your moon is also in Leo. So this is actually really dope. Shout out to the Leo King. It's also his birthday. I never planned to actually get this done to you on your birthday. It just kind of worked out like that. Shout out to 12th House. So yeah, I think that's very significant. I don't think that's a coincidence. And I really loved your attitude upon, realizing this and just your patience with me. So yeah, I'm going to go in as I always do. Um, I think the first thing I'll start off with is you being born on a new moon, because this now represents the gift of light that you bless everybody with. And I'm going to get into exactly how this works, especially knowing that you are a representative of Leo. Okay, Glam Squad. It's Glam Squad season. It's drama season. All right. You know how people act like they don't like drama, but everyone secretly loves drama. That's why they tell it to whoever at their soonest opportunity. And that's Leo. Okay. But other than that, yeah, it's amazing to see you were born 0 degrees Leo, which is also 30 Cancer, and to see your moon also in Leo is definitely highly revealing. And once again, it definitely indicates your birth on a new moon. So one thing that I like to, okay. But not only that, another reason why this is important and amazing is that not only were you born on a new moon, similar to me, and this is what I adore about 71, 1971 and 1990 and 89 are linked because we're North Node Aquarius gang. So not only were you born on a new moon, but you have your South Node in Leo. And so this is highly significant. You are the co-captain of your destiny group. Technically, you being born 71 and me being born 90, we are in different destiny groups, but we're aligned with the same destiny. In that 20 years before we were born, you already paved the way for us. So thank you so much. And this is also very, 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 very important because this has much to do with how well and realistically you're in a position to, very powerfully open up this very amazing sense of courage. And not just courage, but love. Okay. So this is definitely amazing. One moment. Oh, yeah. Let's get into this because there's deep significance, and I'm so glad you got the deluxe because we'll have more than enough time to really get into this proper. But yeah, I want to highlight the significance of you being born 1971 because this 1971 birth date is very analogous of or very representative of the civil rights era in the 60s and the 70s, the hippie movement that happened too. And we see Pluto at the tail end of Virgo here. We see Jupiter at the tail end of Scorpio. You were born with Neptune 0 degrees Sagittarius too, which low key makes you an alien, low keyzy though, because It's not exactly on your rising, but I'm gonna give that to you. You're one of us. You're a Neptune instrument alien. Okay. So really, really keep this in mind, because a whole lot of how you represent source as a Leo will have much to do with your divine connection to the creator. And one important thing I must say whenever I do readings for Leo representatives, um, this is your show, okay? There's the famous five of the zodiac: Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, and Sagittarius. You see how I smiled? Because this is what we do. We just make people smile. We inspire people. We're not negative ass Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio that just has you introspective. Like, we make you smile. Like, this is why we're the famous five. This is why we're literally amazing. And Leo is literally the main character and lead role of the famous five. Okay, if you think about um if you think about a lot of the people who are high profile right now that everyone's talking about, like Barack Obama, that's a royal Leo. George Soros, that's another Leo. You know, you gotta know who's who when you really, talk about what's going on. You are also a lead role. And the reason why I love to talk about Leo in this vein is, borrowing on African traditional religion, um, the creator, or the source from which everything has come into, has actually been called Olorun. You have the Orisha, and you have like the gods that are the Orisha, or rather, I don't think they call them gods as much as just like spirits and aspects of the universe. And all of this comes from Olodumare, and Olodumare comes from Olorun. And so Olorun, in my belief, is representative of Leo, the source from which everything comes from. And then you also have Olodumare, which represents Sagittarius. And Sagittarius and Leo are the two signs that return back to each other. And if I can explain that real quick, take any sign: Aquarius. What's the 11th house to Aquarius? Sagittarius. What's the ninth house of Sag? Leo. What's the fifth house of Leo? Sag. What's the ninth house of Sag? Leo. So they come back to each other. Let's take Gemini. Gemini's third house. What's the third house of Gemini? Leo. And Leo goes back to Sag. All the cardinal signs go to Aries. Okay, if we take Capricorn, what's the 10th house of Libra? What's the 7th house of Libra? Aries. Cancer, what's the 4th house of Cancer? Libra. What's the what's the 7th house of Libra? Aries. So fire comes back to each other. And every other sign goes to Sag or Leo. Let's take Scorpio. What's the 8th house of Scorpio? Gemini. What's the 2nd house of Taurus? Gemini. Okay, and what's the 3rd house of Gemini? Leo. So this is how crucial Leo and Sagittarius is. Leo and Sagittarius represent that source energy where the creator is birthed from source, and they're both one and the same. And this is why these are the two most spiritual zodiac signs. Don't at me, no cap. I'm just joking. But other than that, this is so very important because you represent both of them, and you are a being of pure light. This is perhaps the most important part of your chart, because your new moon south node energy is ninth house. Now, reasonably so, I believe you wanted me to, okay, no, never mind. But I'm using the equal sign system. I interpret it like the whole sign. So even though most of your Leo energy falls in the eighth because you're 20-degree Sag rising, based on equal slash whole, you're a ninth houser, my friend. You are here to teach light, because your destiny is to speak up about knowledge rather assertively, rather militantly. And this is where you actually have onus, and you're actually supposed to be argumentative. You're meant to be philosophical. You're meant to be not that person who knows it all, but the person who sees it all. Okay. And this is where we get into the significance of you being born in 71, because it is highly significant. And the 60s had Neptune in Scorpio. Neptune in Scorpio is definitely very, 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 very pivotal, because a whole lot of how you personally intuit information comes from the depths of your core. Okay. You represent the 70s where Neptune now goes into Sag. I think Neptune in Sagittarius is one of the dopest Neptunes that you can have. This is exclusive to 70s and I think a bit of 80s. And this gives you textbook clairvoyance. Like anyone with Neptune and Sagittarius can see visions because now the mechanism of intuition and God broadband connection is visual now, and it's in your experience. It's the next best thing besides Neptune and Pisces right now. And it's deeply significant that you have this trine your sun, because one superpower that I one superpower that you possess as a Leo sun is source consciousness. So everything that a Leo is aware of is from the source. In that, they have a 360-degree perception, not like the Sharingan, but more so, Naruto reference, my bad, but more so like where everything you're aware of is coming literally from the source. And this is why I call Leo the plug. Leo is the plug. I meant more so in a drug dealer reference where it's like, I'm going to go to Queen Michelle if I need any type of goods because she got it like that. She's the plug. But also, it can also mean the plug, because in order to power any electronics, Aquarius, you need to plug it into the source. That's Leo. So this is the source of energy. So this is why Leos are just highly inspirational. But once again, there's deep significance to you having Pluto at the tail end of Virgo and Jupiter at the tail end of Scorpio. That is a wicked sextile that actually now differentiates you from the rest of your own generation. But before we get to that, okay, we also want to take into account Uranus that was in Libra. One thing I love about the 70s, I think leading up to 73, is the myriad of planets that you all have. Like you have Pluto in Earth, you have your fire, you have Uranus in air, you have Jupiter in water mastered. So you're an avatar. You have mastery of all four elements, which is just so gangster. You literally even have Mars in Aqua. Like you're ready. You got the passion with Leo to show people what the light looks like, because people are supposed to look at you, and they just get it. They're like, that's the light. I see it. You show people courage. And I'm going to I used to see Leo as love, because Leo, the fixed signs are 4 octaves of love. Taurus is appreciation. It's the first level of love. It's like before you can love someone, you have to appreciate and value them. And people skip this level of love all the time. They want the Leo and the Scorpio deep, passionate love, but they forget about the Taurus love, like basic appreciation. This is, if you don't value someone, you just lust them. So this is what Taurus teaches you. And this manifests in money. Okay. And then you have love, Leo. This could turn romantic, and Leo does have a romantic flair. But this is more so about, energy. The vibrant, warm energy that goes into love. Leo represents the courage that requires you express your emotions at Cancer, which vocalizes the thoughts in Gemini stemming from your appreciation. So you can be like, I love you. I love you so much that it's raining and I can sing, and it requires courage for me to say this because I'm expressing it. Yes, I have no Leo. I stop at Taurus. I don't have that type of courage really, unless I'm joking. Shout out to the Leos. Y'all, that's y'all. That's y'all. That's y'all. Okay. And in this case, you, Queen Michelle, and I don't say Queen Michelle, I don't say that sarcastically at all. I take royalty very serious. Your moon and sun is a royalty, and your rising sign is princess. Okay, princess, mutable, has a higher ranking than fixed. So a princess can be a queen. A queen can be a princess. Okay. When I say princess, this is not in a, oh, you're my little princess. No. This is purely rank. Okay, you have the highest ranking here with Sag rising. So y'all are the ones who take it there, and then Scorpio is pure love. Scorpio takes that courage and now takes it to a deeply sexual, pure place. All right, and then after that, which is where we get more deeply sexual and tantric. This is where you're now willing to die for love. Okay, so this is where we go from I love you, I love you, I'm gonna sing about you all day. Oh, that's Leo, and then you get to Scorpio, like no no no. Let's conjure Drake. No no no, I can't stop thinking about you. I've been stalking you outside your room for 24 hours. I'm so deeply in love with you, I can't even eat without that Scorpio stuff. Okay, and so then you have the highest octave of love. Okay, which is Aquarius. And Aquarius is the highest octave of love, which is your destiny, because this is where you now fully detach. This is where your objective, and the highest octave of love is friendship. Okay, humanity has not reached here yet. Humanity will reach Aquarius when people can have casual sex with their friends, because now sex is an intimate exchange you can have with someone you consider a friend. Humanity is not going to be there yet. It's people's kids. It's people born after the 2000s that will adopt this mindset, because they're that advanced nature. It's not about having casual sex with just anybody as much as it is detaching so much from sex. You see it as something that you can have with someone you care about, and also a partner. Okay. This doesn't mean that there won't be monogamy. There will be monogamy, but this is why Aquarius is the highest octave of love. It's friendship. Okay. It's being able to objectively see that no one is more worthy of love than others. This is the most difficult octave for people to get to. People usually just stay at Leo, Scorpio, but as a collective, we're slowly but surely getting there. So I love your chart already. But I mean, it's not a coincidence. You are the shining queen. Okay. This means that you go into any room and people, thank you, bro. This means you go into any room and people see you shining. Like, this is literally what you're meant to do. You're meant to walk into any room. People are going to see you shining. Okay. Their vibration's going to be raising. Now, we know for a fact Leo and Scorpio are some of the most jealous. Leo and Scorpio evoke some of the most jealousy from other signs, Taurus and Aquarius too. And so you need to just be comfortable with the fact that people are going to throw shade at you because you shining. You shining. You got that 12th house Scorpio with Jupiter there. That's hidden enemies. That's people who are possessed by dark forces that are like, how dare she shine? Like, why is she shining so bright? Why does she have to shine so bright though? Like, why does she have to just walk in the room and just take all the attention? And meanwhile, you're just being yourself. It's not even like you're wanting to. This is every Leo, by the way. I love it. It's amazing. But yeah, so I just kind of want to emphasize that you came into this lifetime with super light. And this is very, very important because your ninth house is very strong. And when you have a strong ninth house, it means you have strong philosophy. And when you have strong philosophy, it means that your beliefs will go a long way towards, which is part of your destiny, teaching people the true knowledge of love, pretty much. I just love how Mars is here, because Mars is very gangster in a sense where it's like, you don't have to believe it, but you gonna know, you gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. And this is so very important because your intellect matches your passion. You have fire and air. Have you ever seen fire signs with no air in their chart? Oh my gosh, they're so dumb. They're very bad. They're very passionate. They're very passionate. They're not really the smartest. Like not at all. But they're not like water. Okay, and I'm just being an asshole. But some of the most smart people, even smarter than air signs, are fire with air. Because now you have passion and intellect, and the air stimulates the brilliance of the fire, and you have some of the most genius individuals in the world. Okay, that's because of air, but it mixes with fire very well. Very also true with water too. So yeah, this is very much so tied to this nodal aspect that once Saturn goes into Aquarius, will very much so activate and instill for you. And I just really love I just really love, and this is crazy because before I've been on this binge lately where I'm like, I don't believe in love. Love is just made up. Love is just what human beings made just so that they can explain and rationalize their extreme feelings for each other. And I still believe that, but it's Leo, all right. It's signs like Leo that and Libra that remind me why there's a place for love. I'll say, or why it exists in some sense because um the energy that keeps everything together, you know what I mean? And it's very, very important. Like you could that is my cat Moon talking, by the way. You could literally just see it brimming from you. And this is where I like to more so equate Leo to courage rather than just love. The energy, the fixed signs are more currency. Okay, so you have the lowest level of currency, which is still high. Just because it's the lowest doesn't mean it's still not one of the four strongest. Okay, but Taurus is easily the lowest level of currency. It's material currency. Okay, it's physical. It's the most solid. Okay, you cannot pay your rent with love. You can't go up to your landlord and be like, "Hey, I'll love you for." I mean, that's illegal in some states, but it's like, "Hey, I'll love you for the rent." You got to pay money. Okay, it's solid. This is why Taurus is OG and one of the realest. And then you have Leo, which is energetic currency, which is why Leos need attention, especially with your moon in Leo. You're a queen, you're a diva. How dare you not get attention? And that has to be your attitude. Because like you raise so much vibration, you bring so much light into an arena. If your moon doesn't get attention, your moon's going to be so offended. It's going to be like, did you not see me walk into the room and you're not even paying me any attention? You're not vain, by the way. Like, and when I say this, you're not being some vain diva. Like, it's very important. Like, there's a lot that you don't just come into a room. Like, there's a lot that's prearranged. So it's almost like a red carpet. And I don't want to paint this picture that you're some vainglorious, egotistical, stuck-up woman. Not at all. I'm just saying the importance of you getting attention. This is what you need. This is why your moon is here. And so the Leo is the currency of energy. Leo is when people show ampness and it's like, yeah, right? This is why Leo is the stage performer and Aquarius is the audience. When they give Leo all that energy, that's currency, okay? And then Scorpio is more pure currency, uncut coke, right? Raw, uncut coke before you chop it up, the pureness of a substance. And this is why Scorpio is related to death, because there's a lethal amount. I forgot the name of it, but like any substance, any medicine, any drug, if you take the pure substance, it's lethal. You have to dilute it before it's consumed. That's Scorpio, before the dilution. This is why it relates to death, because too much of the purity will kill you. And so that's the Scorpio currency, that pure energy, that pure desire, okay? Whereas Taurus is appreciation and value, Scorpio is desire, that could border on lust, but it's just pure. You see how I just got deeper in my voice and I started to really channel this. And I love that you have Jupiter here, because this is actually a currency that you harness and possess at a divine level. And then of course we have Aquarius once again, the highest octave of love, easily the highest octave of love, friendship, because it's about who you know. So, I would rather have 100,000 true friends than $100,000 and no friends. I would rather have 100,000 true friends and $0 in the bank than $100,000 in the bank and zero true friends, because the value of just one person is infinite. So the more people you know, the more influential, the more powerful you are. Aquarius teaches everyone this. This is why Aquarius knows everybody. So this is very amazing, once again, seeing that you and I both have North Node Aquarius. It is our destiny to be different. It is our destiny to be weird. It's our destiny to be genius. It's our destiny to channel aliens. It's our destiny to venture out into space, whether physically or through astral projection. And it is our destiny to help usher in the new age of Aquarius. And this is where I need to be drawn right back to your ninth house, because given the ninth house of your zodiac chart, okay, you have this wonderful, 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 what? Oh my goodness, like very wonderful ninth house. It's like one of the, and I've read thousands of charts, and you still have one of the dopest ninth houses ever. And you don't, it's not even stacked. Like you just have sun 0 degrees, 18-degree moon, and 26-degree Mercury. But that south node is everything. It's almost as if like, the reason why this is important is because the ninth house is the house of God. And so if we look at your past life and we look at South Node in the ninth house, you came into this lifetime with the with the peak ninth house quality of light and love to show the world. And this is where your MC in Libra is also rare, because as a Sag rising, technically your MC would actually be in Virgo. But seeing how your MC is now in Libra as a Sagittarius rising definitely makes you very much of a community leader. You're definitely your legacy, and this is so important because it's linked to Uranus in Libra, which is your 11th. So you normally the MC is going to be in the 10th house, and if it's not in the 10th, it's going to be in the 9th. In rare and super rare cases, it's in the 8th. And then if you're like a master, or if you're super important, your MC will be in the 11th, like yours. So when the MC is in the 9th, your legacy is meant to be a teacher. When your MC is in the 10th, your legacy is meant to be a public figure. My MC is in Aquarius in the 10th, 9th house. So because it falls in the 9th house, but it's in the 10th, because it's a 10th house MC, but it falls in the 9th house based on equal, what do? I teach 9th house about Aquarius, astrology, the stars. So you have an 11th house MC that falls in the 10th based on equal, and you're meant to be, because when the MC is in 11th, you're a community leader. So you're meant to be a leader of artists, the most unconventional artists. Someone who has this, who I admire a lot and who's super awesome, is Mercedes Edison. She's on Instagram as Unimerse. She let me read her chart, and she is a Sagittarius rising with her MC in Libra. And I love using her as an example because she's killing it. Like, she's living up to it. She will be on stage, just to give you a visual of what it looks like. She DJs on stage. She has so many people wilding out, just having so much fun, rocking with her. That is MC in the 11th. And she's a Libra. So that's why she's aware. She's the awareness of it. Whereas you're a Leo. So you're more so going to be the teacher here that still leads people in the sense of how balanced we could be as a society. Because 11th house is also where you belong. It's also the collective. And the interesting thing here is, when your MC is in a cardinal sign, you're here to lead the world. You're here to be a leader. Okay, so obviously, Queen Michelle, you are meant to be a leader because you're queen. We can easily say you're one of the queens of light. Okay, every single woman. There are many women in this incarnation who decide to represent light. You are one of those women, and you represent this at its exaltation. Not technically in terms of planet, but Leo in the 9th house is so significant. I wish I can. You're literally showing people the light of the goddess or God, regardless of how you say it. This primordial void. So this is important because a very important segue I love to take away with Leo energy is that y'all are exorcists. Y'all at some level, with Gemini and Cancer, are exorcists. And this is very, very important because one of your main abilities, Sagittarius, is the ability to see. And so putting that light, the source of light, in the 9th makes it super strong. And so you can look at anyone's spirit, be receptive to the quality of their heart, and see if they're demonic or not. No one better than Sag and Leo can see the evil in people. They can literally just look at your eyes and be like, "Oh, you got like these demons attached to you," or "You evil, you evil, evil." And I just love it because a lot of people don't understand. And so, as a Sagittarius rising, you have this ability too. And because Neptune is not, it's not technically you wouldn't be considered a Neptune instrument alien, but I'm going to consider you one because you're so amazing. So this gives you the ability to reflect the inherent God and Goddess back to others. You can help others ascend. You can hypnotize others. Okay, I'm going to attach the article to this. Actually, I'm just show you right now. So this is what I'm referencing here. Because we have Neptune, okay, technically this will make you a Neptune instrument alien. Neptune instrument aliens are able to reflect the inherent God and Goddess. This is if you have Neptune on your rising. Lead others in a sacred dance, visualization, identify which essential oils go with the individual. Assist the dying in crossing over. Okay, transform the energy of gravity. I kind of want to maintain that this is all an understatement. All right, I actually had a reading with the woman who wrote this article. It was the best reading, one of the best readings of my whole life. It was that good. So amazing. And yeah, I just kind of want to illustrate that now knowing that you are this archetype, I'm willing, it's not a coincidence that you have this alien construct because Neptune is very much so about ascension. So you have a divine transcendent state that allows you to tap into the divine light that you possess. It's like you can go from Michelle and your superpower is Super Michelle. And this is so very important because a whole lot of how this is definitely going to impact you moving forward will have a lot to do with more so or less your relationship really with the light. Okay, and this website is higherselfcommunications.com. All right. You can type in alien constructs and you'll see it come up. I'm gonna give you the link though to this recording when I send it. So I've been really keeping this focus here because with 26 degrees Mercury, you are a mastermind. The reason why I'm a master communicator is because my Mercury is 29 degrees Taurus. So I take serious master Mercury. A master planet is any planet in the zodiac after 20 degrees. And master Mercury is so very important because when you want to see where someone's proficiently mastered, you look at the highest degrees in their chart. You have 26 Jupiter, 26 Mercury, 27 Pluto. So 26 Mercury is creative mastery of communication where you speak Mercury from the heart. And everything that you communicate shows people the light of courage. It also triggers them mercilessly because there's a reason why people hate Leo. There's a reason why Leo, Gemini, and Scorpio are the three most hated zodiac signs. Scorpio is purity. Leo is courage. Gemini is truth. You either got it or you don't. And Gemini, you know, if you don't tell the truth, you're a liar. So, you know, these represent certain aspects. And Aries too. Aries is in there too. So these represent certain aspects that are not able to be controlled or manipulated. And so people hate us for that. But I mean, that's not the only reason why, but like, this is so very important because you have all these energies. And it's not as simple as just people not liking you. I don't think you even have a problem with people not liking you, but I want to represent this because Leos and Leo risings are getting ready for controlled opposition. All the hate that Cancer got and Gemini got, Leo's next on the chopping block. And so the reason why it's very important to kind of like establish the presence of this is because this is more spiritual war. This is very, 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 very much so dark forces reacting to the light. Your rising sign, your identity is light. It's Sagittarius. Your spirit is light. It's Leo. Your soul is light. Your mind, master light. And then Chiron is in Aries. So Everything that you do stimulates light and courage through love and through awareness that this doesn't always have to be a good thing. It can reveal more than you plan, and it can create a lot of drama. But what you're here to do is align this light with knowledge. You're here to align the awareness of this energy and figure out ways to communicate this so that this can now be shared to others and connect them through truth. And this is where we get even deeper here, because it's not only just that Leo represents this aspect of love and courage. You're here on a crusade to vanquish darkness. And the square that your mind makes to Jupiter and Scorpio is a very interesting planet, especially in the 12th. It's a placement that's very rare. Jupiter in Scorpio is going to bless you with an abundant ability to transform your psyche and to also be receptive to hardcore depth psychology in others. Its trine that you have with Venus in Cancer takes the compassionate nature of your heart, which could be a bit unconditionally loving. Venus in Cancer is very compassionate. You have empathy through your heart, and at 20 degrees, it's mastered. So you can definitely feel it's in the 8th house. So the way that you love is highly intimate. You're very deeply sexual because you're going to love based on who you care about. Okay, my Venus is in Taurus. I only love and care about food and my bed. Those are my bays. But like, you actually care about people. And that is just so amazing. You actually care about people. You actually love people. And in the 8th, like, you're willing to feel into the depth of what they're going through. And this is what now takes that compassionate, intimate heart of yours, and it connects with Jupiter and Scorpio to go even deeper and to really provide this divine sense of wisdom. Now, the reason why this is hard to explain is because Jupiter and Scorpio, first of all, if you have Jupiter and Scorpio, period, Jupiter and Scorpio takes the king of the gods aspect of Jupiter and allows you to communicate with underworld forces. It allows you to command dark forces, allows you to command demons. Pluto is ruler of the underworld. So Jupiter going to the underworld is like another god that doesn't rule the underworld, but still has rank. So not everyone's going to listen to it. It's like an assistant boss coming through. It's not your boss. So, but like still, it's right before it goes home in Sag. So this is very, very, very important, as you know, the 12th house nature of Jupiter. So if you have Jupiter in Scorpio, period, this is the ability to really expand the source and core of where feelings come from. You want to think of fixed signs as like the source. So you have Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn that take action, but they come from the fixed source. Okay, Leo is the source of energy. Taurus is the source of material, right? Scorpio is the source of where these emotions come from. And Pisces is the experience of that. So Jupiter and Scorpio gives one a very abundant, strong core. It gives one very deep feeling. It's a very alchemical placement. Very true. And Venus that trines Jupiter here extends forth your ability to love so intimately, because in the 12th house, Jupiter literally now expands your spiritual literacy, your spiritual beliefs. And this is where we come to a very important clash, because your Leo energy is going to really show you the light of love and the light of courage. It's going to be expansive in the Mars decan. Your moon is in the Jupiter decan, and it's going to be very vibrant. But it's the square to Jupiter that's going to be like, you have to make sure you can trust people with this. You have to be aware of the hidden enemies. Jupiter in the 12th protects you from hidden enemies. This is Scorpio. Everyone doesn't know this. I don't think you guys know. Leo, not so much, but Sagittarius, their hidden enemies are demons. Okay, it's not just skeletons in the closet. Sagittarians have to deal with very demonic, dark forces that they can't tell anyone about because you guys will call them delusional. Because Sagittarius is sight. So if you don't have Sagittarius, which most people in the world don't have Sagittarius, you don't have your third eye open. Queen Michelle, you have your third eye open. And so, when I say Queen Michelle, I promise you it is out of respect. Because I can't, like, if you're a fixed sign, I have to, or if you have a fixed sign rising, I have to give you that title. Otherwise, Saturn in your chart will penalize me. But other than that, but I swear to God, I don't say this sarcastically. I mean this with utmost respect. But once again, like the 12th house, you as a Sagittarius rising, Jupiter protects you from these forces and the forces that you can pick up from other people. So like Sagittarius can see demons, but most people don't have Sagittarius. Pisces can sense it too, but most people don't have Pisces. So people think that Sag and Pisces are delusional, especially because most of these energies need to be developed, but we don't have systems and structure to facilitate these abilities that they have. And so they usually manifest as psychological maladies and mental illnesses. That being said, Scorpio with Jupiter in the 12th also makes you very abundant into healing and dealing with mental, psychological illnesses in anybody, but also demonic possession. Because now the light of your 9th house can now peer into the depth of the 12th with Jupiter here that can expand this literally infinitely. This is very wild. How is it that you have the ability to see infinitely into the dark, command dark forces, and be able to expel, exercise, and purify energetic spaces within people, things, and places? Oh, you're the queen of light. No wonder. So as a representative of light, okay, it makes sense that y'all are gangster like this. And it is very gangster. Because with energy like this, you can walk up to a cold, hard killer. And you can have a conversation with them, look them in the eyes, and not just soften their heart, but actually connect with them in ways that take away the bitterness and darkness that made them as cold and bitter of a killer as they are. So this isn't by making them believe in the power of love. You're not doing anything corny like that. You're not like, you just need to love. You just need to be a good person. No, you connect straight to the heart of anybody you know. And you can have a heart. That's your superpower. You can not only have a heart to heart with people, but you can engage with the dark hidden aspects of them that no one understands. And you can see people. And that's just so amazing. This is why Chiron is returning for you in Aries, that allows you to heal this level of masculinity creatively. Creativity is hilarious. Creatively. And this is where the opposition to Uranus has probably made you feel from others. See, I don't think Chiron in Aries is a wound. I think Chiron in Aries is a whole mood. But like the opposition to Uranus and Libra is dealing with this sense of eccentricity. Like you probably were way ahead of your time, especially with Uranus next to your MC. You will always be a force of progressive movement for people who definitely are ready at a certain level to take the conversation and narrative of interpersonal social interaction forward. Okay, and this is so very important. But this is where you have this amazing authority with the grand air trine. So Saturn in Gemini, which I think is one of the coolest Saturns, the fact that you have Saturn in Gemini means that you have authority of truth. You hate liars, okay? And that's redundant to say because you would think that everyone hates liars. No, some people are liars themselves. Some people don't really care that much about lies. You would think everyone would, but no. They're not like you that cannot stand lies. And this is why. Because you're a judge of truth. You're a judge of the mind, and you're a judge of information. And so when someone lies to you, Saturn in Gemini imposes penalties. And this is very important because this makes a grand air trine, the triplicity of air, which means you're a super genius. So you judge truth and communication, all right? You judge the integrity of what's being said. And this is in the 6th, 7th house. So you apply this to other people. And then this links with the social Uranus MC. Your MC in a social sign means that your legacy is to be social. You don't have to be extroverted, even though you probably are, but you're called to be social. Why? Because you have to express your message. You have a very important, genius message that people have to hear. Uranus now takes the unconventional nature of the truth you judge in Gemini and now expresses this out to the world. And this is what connects with Mars to take action uniquely and outside the box, linked with your destiny. So everything you do, you're not only meant to do, but this forwards the conversation and narrative, which is infinite in application and can apply to so much. So because you got the deluxe report, we're going to go over your houses and we're going to look at chart rulers. The ruler of Sagittarius is in your 12th, which means that you are here to see into the infinite dark. Okay, the ruler of your first house is in your 12th because at the core you are a deeply psychologically spiritual queen of light. And this is very important because the expansiveness that you bring to the world is not just about being spiritual as of pertaining to spirit, but spiritual in the sense that you encompass all areas of an individual's life and the psychology around an individual's lifestyle. So a large portion of your personality has to do with the unconscious and private limits of your own psyche that you now work to bring to the light. The ruler of your second house, Saturn, is in the 7th house in Gemini. It falls in the 6th, but because this rules the 7th, this means that the way that you come into value in this lifetime is very, very important because this directly deals with other people. And the more you hold people accountable to being aligned with the integrity of truth, the more value you come into this lifetime. This is very, very, very powerful. It makes sense, though. Only a queen would hold those accountable. Right. So then we have, of course, in that vein, right? Then we have Aquarius. The ruler of your 3rd house is in your 11th, which is so amazing because the way that your attitude is genius. All right. The 3rd house Aquarius, mine is why Sagittarius people are my favorite signs, next to Libra, and also my favorite is Libra and Sag. It depends on which, but like it depends on how I feel. But like Sag has that 3rd house aqua, and this gives them genius minds. This also makes you a child prodigy because of this, whether you have Uranus here or not. But Uranus ruling your 3rd house means that a whole lot of your attitude is influenced by the social circle around you and the diet of what you bring in from the world, because a lot of the innovation of your collective is directly linked to your destiny, because you have to be out there to spread the knowledge. It comes directly from the source of your spirit. 9th house, see, I'm 9th house north node, 10th house north node in the 9th. So I'm here to really create a religion based on knowledge. It's like I'm here to write the new Bible. But your 9th house is south node. So it's like in a past life, you were this teacher and preacher and guru. You have this philosophy, and your destiny here is to put it in bite-sized chunks that are truths, and not just truths. You're here to convert the philosophy of your love into knowledge that could be shared and that could be known. The ruler of your 4th house is in your 1st, Neptune, and so there's a private understanding of your magic that you identify with. It falls in the 12th, and so this only adds to the deeply spiritual nature with how divinely you can see. And this allows you to see the private meaning and reason for everything. You will just gain an intuitive insight. The ruler of your 5th house is in your 3rd house. So your creativity and inner child is highly stimulated with the out-the-box action orientation of your Mars in Aquarius, which only adds to the level of genius with how instinctually you even take this creative action. And Chiron here is what will foster the healing of others, children, and your own inner child through your willingness to make mistakes and to really fall down and get back up through masculine assertion and masculine expression. And then the ruler of your 6th house is in your 8th house, which now ties in the trust that you gain from other people and the emotions they trust you with, so that you can now work efficiently. And this is actually very important because this denotes a lot of money, because the 8th house is a house of self-employment, because you need to be trusted with other people's resources. Like, if I cannot be trusted with other people's resources, my business will be a complete failure because no one will trust me with their money. And this is why your 2nd house is your house of money. So it's like you other people are trusted with sincerity so that you can gain integrity. Because and the more integrity you have, the stronger your 2nd house Capricorn is, the more powerful your 8th house Cancer will be. More people will trust you with their sincere emotions because you're sincere and you have integrity. You literally have 2nd house Capricorn integrity, which is one of the coolest things about Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. So the ruler of your 6th being in this 8th house means that your day-to-day routine is very much so influenced by your heart, the sincere, pure nature of your heart, which is not the most rational, but because it's ruled by Taurus, will be grounded and will definitely influence how it is you come into service and money. The ruler of your 7th house is in the 9th. And so this is what allows you to hold space in partnerships with people so that you can show people the light and you can show them their worth. Okay, this is amazing. This is what allows conversations to be very passionate and for you to attract people who bring this here. The ruler of your, of course, 8th house is also in the 9th, and the ruler of your 9th house falls in the 8th, but is in the 9th. So 7th, 8th, and 9th house being ruled by Leo or energy in the 9th is very important because your philosophy on life directly impacts the intimate relationships you have with others. And you are your philosophy. You totally have this. One moment. Oh yeah, this light is everything that is very important for the 8th house too, because the moon being in the 9th house means that the core of your emotions filled with light is what will influence your intimate actions with others. It's not going to be influenced by dark motivations. It's going to be influenced by how much you can feel in alignment with the light you bless other people with. And I don't want to really frame light as a good force. I want to be as objective as I can be here. The reason why in the 9th house it's going to be positive is because it's aligned with the values that make up the royal nature of who you are. One very important thing to understand is that Leo is narcissism. Okay? And this is what makes Leos and Leo risings narcissists. Like if you're a Leo rising, you are a narcissist. And this is amazing. It's self-love. Narcissism is not bad at all. And every single person in life is narcissistic because everyone in life has Leo. So go to Leo in your chart if you want to see where you're narcissistic. But narcissistic personality disorder is what's bad. So there's nothing wrong with being a narcissist. There's everything wrong with having narcissistic personality disorder, which you clearly do not have. And you want to celebrate your narcissism because you're literally here to teach the world how to balance narcissism with altruism. Okay, with this Aquarius sense of you know. So if Leo is narcissism, Aquarius is God complex. So every sign has something. But this is so very important because we see moving forward the ruler of your 10th house, Mercury, boom, back in your 9th. So even your career house that in Virgo will translate more to changing and transforming with Pluto here. The way the world disseminates facts, Pluto in Virgo gives you X-ray vision into details. It's like having a magnifying glass that can zoom, really look into it. And so that being influenced by the master nature of your mind and light is going to shine light to these issues. It's going to really communicate that light to authority figures, which Pluto here could give you a dangerous relationship with authority figures, especially could lead into you exposing that element in government and in work. Okay, ruler of your 11th house is in the 8th, just like the rule of your 6th. So this is what's going to bring trust issues, because 11th house is friends and 8th house is intimacy. 8th and 11th, Aqua and Scorpio, clash when there's no trust, because if I'm around 11th house, who can I trust with my 8th? And so this is going to really make trust, it's going to allow you to trust all your friends, but it's going to make this much bigger of an issue, because your Venus in Cancer is one of the most psychic parts about you. And so you can basically sense instantly, based on how sincere someone is, whether they're trustworthy or not. So make sure you really trust your heart when it comes to your 11th, because this is where your legacy is. And then, of course, the ruler of your 12th, Pluto, is in the 10th, in Virgo. And this is what's going to allow the exaltation of this unconscious and hidden spiritual quality of your purity to be exalted to the world, so that you can transform the world based on your spiritual path that is very rich and very abundant with Jupiter. Thank you so very much once again for ordering this deluxe report. You stay blessed as always. This was very much so awesome to do for you. I'm really looking forward to your feedback. And until next time, you stay blessed as always. Peace.